So tomorrow, Tania Clarence is going to receive a sentence for the unlawful killing of her 3 children, twins Ben and Max, and daughter Olivia. Now, all of these kids had spinal muscular atrophy type 2, like myself, and it's been presented that she killed them because of this, to end their suffering prematurely. The reporting at the time, by the majority of the media anyway, was typical of this kind of coverage. They were disabled children, hence it was mercy killings. The condition itself was misrepresented, was incorrectly portrayed as an infant killer, which it obviously isn't, as you can see. I'm 47 years of age now, still very much alive, still relatively healthy. So yeah, this case really did affect me quite badly, because obviously I was once a little kid just like them. It's not right. It's the fact that she has been tried for manslaughter due to diminished responsibility rather than murder. Yet the details that came out in the case last week in the pre-sentence hearing was that it was totally premeditated. She'd discussed it before with her GP. She'd made her nanny bring the children back prematurely from her care back into the house, and then told the nanny to leave. So she was obviously planning it. After she'd killed the 2 boys, Ben and Max, she then stopped, took the time to write a letter to her husband, before then killing Olivia. So there was obviously a lot of thought had gone into it, which in anybody's book is premeditated, surely. There's going to be a lot, there already has been a lot based around Tania Clarence's mental health, her state of mind. I would argue that anyone can take another person's life, let alone 3 little children's lives, must have some mental health issues. It's inevitable. But does that excuse her? No, it doesn't. People argue that she didn't have the support she needed, but again, in the pre-sentence hearing, it was told that she had up to 60 professionals involved with her children's care. She had a full-time nanny. The family fairly affluent. She had a husband. Now, I know mental health problems can cut through any kind of social status, any class, so it doesn't have any kind of respect for that kind of thing. But to argue she had no support is really wrong. What it is, these 3 children, had they not been disabled, and probably had the mother not been middle class, but been from a housing estate, single mother, it would have been a totally different outcry, presentation in the media. She would have been vilified. But because that wasn't the case, it's being regarded as a mercy killing. The prosecution have actually used the term mercy killing. So what kind of chance is there for these disabled kids and for others like them that come after us if it's seen in that light by the prosecution? Impairment, physical impairment, and to a degree learning mental impairment is regarded by the medical profession as failure and is something to be cured, hidden, eradicated, hence pre-screening for various conditions for abortion up until full term. But the medical profession is reflected in society and vice versa, and that is why certain groups of people are seen as of less importance, less value, and therefore when something like this happens and 3 innocent little toddlers, that's all they were, you can see from the picture of Ben and Max with their father that the media have been using. They're the happiest little kids going. They had their hands in the air, so they weren't that their condition hadn't got to a stage where they were that disabled anyway, any more than any other toddler of their age. Perhaps the only difference being that they couldn't walk. And yet it's still seen that they had been done a favour, with the mother even being praised in some sections for having the courage to euthanize her own children. It's just awful that such a thing can happen and it be regarded as favourable because these 3 little kids had a condition that meant that they would probably never walk. I've never walked, but I've still had an education, I've still had employment, I've still driven a vehicle, I've still got married, I've got children, I've got grandchildren. I'm not extraordinary, I'm just ordinary, but these kids, Ben, Max and Olivia Clarence, didn't have that chance. And people are saying, well, the fact that their mother will have to live with it for the rest of her life will be punishment enough. No, that's not the case, because she will be living with it, whereas her children will never live again. They've gone. She decided to take their lives because she didn't value them enough. They could have had what I've had and more, but they've gone. And it just doesn't seem like anybody cares that much. The main reason being they were disabled.